welcome to the Mortgage Minute. I hope you guys are having a great start to your week. In today's topic, we're going to cover the pitfalls of prequalification. Now, I know in the past I've really stressed how important it is for you to get pre-qualified. Well, here's some things to look for in your pre-qualification that can trip you up down the road. One of them is, remember, we as lenders can only get you pre-qualified based on what you send us. So if all you bring us or fill out is your application and we look at the information on that, that's what we're going to issue our pre-qualification on. Now, when you're getting pre-qualified, you're not required to bring in all your documentation, such as your tax returns, your pay stubs, your bank statements. However, if you bring those in, you can avoid a lot of problems down the road. Let me give you some examples of that. Let's say you're looking at an income-based program. And by that I mean it's a 100% program, but your income can't go above a certain amount. So when you fill out your application, you may tell us, okay, this is what my wage is, and that would be your base pay. But you don't want to count commission or overtime because it's not guaranteed. So if you're really close on the limit or reaching the limit that you can go above with your income-based program, you bring in your tax returns, your pay stubs, and we see that you've been receiving the bonus or you've been receiving the commission, that may disqualify you for that program. Another thing, you may go in and just combine it all together and say, okay, this is what I made last year based off my W-2. But when we look at everything, we see you've only received a bonus 1 year out of the last 5, or you've only received commission for 6 months. That would be income we'd not be able to count. So again, the more you bring in and let us look at, the stronger your pre-qualification is going to be. And if we pull your credit, let's say you only want a soft pull, which is possible to do a pre-qual off of a soft pull. Here's the issues you may run into with that. Most soft pulls are done off of one repository. Now, the reason some people will want a soft pull is because it doesn't show up as an inquiry on your credit. So let's say we pull a soft pull and it's on TransUnion only. So we're working on you, get your pre-qual out, you get your contract into me, and we're getting ready to do your hard pre-approval. And we pull Equifax, and we find out there's a bunch of problems with your credit on Equifax that we didn't know about ahead of time. That could keep us from getting you approved. So bring in as much documentation on your income as you can. Let us go ahead and do a hard pull on your credit and look at it. Because remember, your credit report is going to be good for 4 months. So that gives you plenty of time to get out and to find a home. Third thing, bring in 2 months bank statements. Because we need to see where your funds to close or your funds to cover your closing costs are going to come from. A lot of people will come in and say, okay, I've got $5,000. And then when you get to talking to them, well, I have $5,000 at home because I didn't want to put it in my account and so that I would not spend it. Well, cash saved at home is not going to be an acceptable source of funds. So again, that's why if you go ahead and get us everything up front, we can kind of go over that with you and we can say, okay, maybe you need to get a gift from a relative, or you need to make other means or have another way to come up with your down payment. Those are the type of things that we have to look at in detail and kind of go over with you that we're not going to know until it comes. Some things, let's say you've brought in all your documentation. You've got your bank statements, you've got your, we've pulled a hard pull, we've got your pay stubs, we've got your W-2s, everything looks great, and I give you your pre-qual. Remember, you must continue on as you have been, meaning in your credit. If your credit card balances are at $1,000, don't go and charge them up to $1,500 because that will change your credit score. Keep them at the $1,000 or below. Make sure you do not open any new debts. You may have a, let's say, $450 car note, and you only owe maybe $5,000 against this car. So you go and you decide you want to go ahead and buy a new car. Your payment's going to be the same. It's going to be $450, or let's say it's even going to be $425, but the debt on it's going to be $30,000. That's going to hurt your credit because that's going to be a brand new debt, and it's going to be maxed out at the limit because it's just opened up at the $30,000. That can bring your credit scores down sometimes 20, 30, 40 points. So you'd lose your approval on that. Another issue we run into is people change jobs. And it may be the same type of job. It may be the exact same salary. One of the things people don't think about is a lot of employers have 90-day probation periods. So if you change jobs, it's an identical job just for a different company. We send out a verification of employment, and it may come back that you're on 90-day probation period. If that happens, we're going to have to push your closing back until you're no longer on probation. So once you get your pre-approval, remember, make sure you're never late on your credit, on your monthly payments. Make sure you do not get any new debts or that you increase the balance on your credit cards, and do not change jobs. If you have to change jobs or something's come up, then what you need to do is make sure you discuss this with your lender. Let them know, let them talk to you and tell you, okay, these are the things to look at before you change. The more information you bring into us as lenders, the stronger your pre-qual will be, and that much more confident you can be when you're out looking at houses. I hope this has helped you guys a lot, and if you have any questions, make sure you comment below, and I'll be glad to get back with you on those questions. And I will see you next week on the Mortgage Minute.